We're doing now Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach Chav Zion Amid Aleph. We're using the old Shas, the Vilna Shas, not the Oiz B'chad one. Zog the Gemara. Talking about the din of selling a behemoth daka, a behemoth gasa for a goy, and a behemoth daka is totally b'minig. Behemoth gasa is also for everybody. Havaboyim Meimah, they wanted to say the Bnei Yeshiva man damar mutar lemikoyer, mutar yachid. So these two things go together. So if you're allowed to sell, if the minig is to sell behemoth daka, it's also mutter to be meyachid the goy to behemoth daka, and we're not chosh for a via. Gemara B'Dzara says that a goy is choshet for a via, so you don't want to be machshel them for a via. So it's this isser. They wanted to say that the isser of selling for a goy is really because you machshel him with the isser of a via. So the one that says mutter lemikoy, he says mutter liyachid. Why? Because he's not chosh the goy for such a doing such a silly stuff. That's why it's mutter liyachid. So the din is not, the Zohar doesn't apply either. You're allowed to be miyachid the goy with your behemoth daka. Let's say you go to a hotel, you're allowed to let him be together with your animal. He holds no. He choishes for a via. So Gemara says on that you enter a blessed Shem Rav filik man the omer mutter lemimka asal liyachid. No. Everybody agrees that it's such a isser that you're not allowed to be miyachid the goy with your behemoth daka. That's kulam amoida. Why? So everybody agrees that your own animal that still belongs to you, don't let it be in the same room with a goy. That's for sure that a goy is chasher to do this iser aviyah. Just the other one that argues that says Yilada the minig amakim is to sell, he says no. Once you sell it, it's his own problem. You don't have to worry for his avera that he does with his own animal. So that's why that chitta says you're allowed to sell for a goy. The other says no, it's still a problem of iver, so you shouldn't sell. But everybody agrees that if it's your animal, for sure you have to be careful and not let the goy be nichshel with your animal. So you shouldn't let your animal be together with a goy. So here the Gemara goes with a different mahalach. Instead of saying of Revia, as we just said, maybe that's totally not a problem because once it's his animal, so who cares what he does? So we're going to find a different answer. Why is there the minig not to sell behemoth daka? What's taka the pshat of this minig? One says shemetziyim de giza, because usually a behemoth, let's say a lamb, you have wool and you give for the kohen rishis I guess. Now you're mafkia, you're not going to give this matas kohuna. That's why you don't sell it for a good. The goat doesn't have any giza. If it's gonna have a baby, you're not gonna give the bechor for a kohen. So you're doing something to take away from the kohen his matana. If it's a it's a zachar can't have a baby. So what's the issue? There's a dinner you have to give for the shoyer says he gives the royal chaim for the kohen. Now the guy is gonna have it. He's not gonna give his matanas. As the Gemara, how can you sell him wheat? He's not going to give challah. Yan Hashem, he's not going to make a bracha on it. So this is interesting to understand why they had this minig not to sell behemoth daka. Gasa for sure is awesome. Marvin gasa min daka. Gasa yesh b'chi of chatas. So this is a different reason. The aim of gasa, the problem is that it doesn't malacha on Shabbos. Choyvish baba Shabbos. It's like a shvisas behemte. We don't allow that your animal, even though it's sold for the guy already, but it's still a gzer d'Rabbanan that it shouldn't have your animal working on Shabbos. How about the guy is going to use the goat or the sheep to milk it on Shabbos or to share on Shabbos, take off the wool? Isn't that also a malacha? It's different. There, your animal's doing a malacha, right? Your animal's plowing. Shvisas behemtoi. Here, the animal is not doing the giza. The person is doing it. The guy is doing it. I'm not mitzvah to worry the guy shouldn't do a malacha Shabbos. I not let him. I have to make sure my animal doesn't do a malacha Shabbos. Omer bimi ba'avlai b'shem Rabban the Talmud. He said over b'shem the Rabban of Babel. Ha'omer shemoichel in his son. He explains the reason of Behema Gasa. Because that's a little bit hard to understand. If once you sold it for a goy, who cares that your animal does a malacha? So he says that the reason is because the guy is not really buying it yet. He's just testing it. That's the reason. If so, so if you sell it for the guy and you tell him make a condition that he can test it for 3 days, so then it should be a problem. But why, if you sell it in a total, you make a non-refundable, you just give it to him for good. She should be mutter, because then there's no problem that he works on Shabbos. And for the Gemara, zubab nezu, it's a gzeira, this ought to this. So it's the ikar is starts from the case where you sell it for, you don't really give it right away, you just give a few days to test it. Zog the Gemara, over a mocha, consum boy. Geshem she consum alocha, consum lemini. So you're going around the case where is over and he was sold the behemoth gasa, your coinus, it's a knas, he has to redeem it. He has to go to the guy and tell him, I'm sorry, I'm giving you back your money, give it back to me. And he says, even by a minig, even if by a medaka, there's only a minig not to sell, the same story. You have to redeem it. You must give money for the guy and buy it back. Where do you know this, that by halacha means by behemoth gasa, that's ikar adin, your coinus. He sold a camel. Camel's behem gasa. Also, the camel the shbal, the concept of kifle. He says you have to pay up to double the price. Let's say you sold for a guy for $1,000. You should pay $2,000 to get it back. So you see from this story that your coinus on halacha, and the Gemara says even on a minig your coinus. But here we see from halacha, the halacha is behem gasa is also to sell. And if you did, you have to be you must redeem it. Only Israel being the Sarsa comes. He says the story was a little bit different. It wasn't the owner, it was a broker, somebody that bought and sold. That's how it used to be. They used to buy some animals from the farm, from the owner, and sell it for goyim. So they counted the Sarsa, the broker, to buy it back. They called him Bro the Sarsa Lama. That's what they gave him, like a nickname. You're the son that gives brokerage for goyim. Ma, if Shimon Lokshki of Yehuda, the Tanai of Shimon Yehuda, Aker Behem and Akem Kabbalah, Yolda Bechoyer, Mailim Ima Beshabe, and Nois Tzi Dom Lekoyen. Oh, so this is a mission. So the Gemara is now asking that this thing that Shimon Lokshki was coined by a Behema Gasa, the story from the Gomel. So this story goes only according to Rabbi Yehuda. Which Rabbi Yehuda are we talking here? In Masechet Bechayres. Masechet Bechayres, he says like this: you take an animal from a goy, the Kabbalah. It's a job. You're going to raise it, and they're going to split in the profits of the children, other stuff. That's how it used to be, like a oris, somebody that works for the owner and he pays him profits, and he keeps them. We all the bechor, and that the Yid is taking care of this animal, of this cow, and they had a bechor. Ma'ile ima b'shav v'noisach atzi dam l'kohen. Halacha is that the Yid has to go and evaluate what's this bechor worth, and give half of it for a goy, for a coin, because half of it belongs to the Yisrael. So let him give half of the money for a coin. Nasan lebe Kabbalah, the other way around. The Yid is the owner, and he gave for a goy a cow to make sure it has children. And what does he do? Ma'il ima yafila eser b'domim b'shav v'niskel adomim the kohen. Then it's even worse, because then the Yid is taking his ownership and he's giving it for a goy, and now it had a baby. So we say he must redeem. Let's say the goy has some deal that he should get the first one. You have to pay even 10 times the amount for the goy just to get it back and give it for the kohen. So the Yehuda is kindness. So no. Chum say no, you're not counting Sekoil. Akum be'emtz nifter on b'chayra. Forget about it. Now, the guy's hand in the middle. It's part from b'chayra. You don't have to give anything for the kohen. No problem. So anyway, the Rabbi Yehuda says here that you kohenas. The Gemara Shimon Lakish Rabbi Yehuda, v'Rabba min Rabbi Yehuda. You're right. He's talking like Rabbi Yehuda, but even more worse. Madam Rabbi Yehuda, Hashem Hilchos B'chayra. Rabbi Yehuda only counts because Hilchos B'chayra. It means because you mafkiya from Kedushas B'chayra. That's why we cancel you. You did such a terrible thing. You gave it for a guy, and now you want to be mafkiya from B'chayra. You say no way. They should redeem it from the guy and give it back for the coin. But Omer Rabbi Shimon Lakish, Hashem Hilchos B'chayra. He says even if there's no issue of b'chayr, it had already b'chayr. It's not an issue of b'chayr. Just the fact that he gave him a gossip for a guy, that alone is a reason to be kindness. You have to redeem it from the guy, even for more money, even for double, as Shlokish said there. Okay, this is the end of Chaf Zion Amud Aleph.